Hi everyone, Reggie here. I'm here for another installment of Reggie's Rants. I'm gonna trademark that one day. So I'm in my kitchen, if you haven't really been able to tell, and making dinner. And I still have some time for what I'm cooking in the oven, and I want to expand on something I've been giving a little bit more thought to. If you've been watching my videos, and I sure hope you have, I have had multiple experiences with, for lack of a better word, orbs, light orbs specifically, and this has probably gone on now for the last 2 years, off and on, probably once or twice every 3 months or so. I try to keep track of it. Unfortunately, they come at night, and for the longest time, when I thought I had a good bead on their pattern, because I could have sworn there was a pattern, I would stay up. But sometimes I just stay up all night, and then I have to go to work the next morning, and I was dead tired. I go to sleep. A few nights later, I wake up, and oh hey, there they are. So I pretty much gave up on trying to pinpoint their rhyme or reason when it comes to when they show up. And I'm sure they have their reasons. Maybe it's the day. Maybe it has to do with the planet's position on a galactic level kind of thing, and it's something I just can't fathom or factor in at this point. I'd love to know. They told me. But when they do show up, they I refer to them as orbs, but they don't have a distinct shape. But it's more of a glowing orb. Same effect. The one thing I would, other than referring to cinema, if you've ever been really tired and you're driving or you're in a car late at night, and if you've ever fallen asleep in a car and you've looked at streetlights that kind of have that little glow effect, kind of a little halo thing, something similar. This one is more white light. It doesn't seem to change. It's always white light. They float around, so they do exhibit anti-gravity properties. And I do believe they're actually light-based, because the one time when I got close to one of them, which was by accident, they actually consciously, it looks like, keep a distance from me. After the first 4 or 5 months of them visiting, well, okay, in 6 months at this point of them visiting, I got brave enough to get up out of bed and kind of look around. Well, I didn't want to scare them off, but I really wanted to see what they were doing in my home. And so as I'm following them, they paid me no mind. They kept their distance, but they didn't like scurry away. So I'm like, okay, cool. They don't mind me. That's good. That's good. And the one time I got close was actually by accident. It was dark. They are bright and they do emanate light. So my eyes will adjust to looking at them. And when I look away in the darkness, it's like looking at a TV and you're sitting in the dark room. And once you turn it off, you can't quite see. Your eyes have yet to adjust. My eyes were still adjusting. I was moving around in the dark. I had something on the floor. I think it was a shirt. I don't know why there was a shirt on the ground. But I fumbled with it. And I moved backwards. And it passed behind me, probably within 1.5 feet. Closest it's ever been. But that's important because, one, I wasn't wearing a shirt at the time, which I know you really wanted to know. But I felt heat. And I'm like, oh, snap. Okay. It emanates heat, and it emanates light. So, light-based. It just makes sense. It makes sense. Not only because of that, but depending on where these things are coming from. See, I don't believe they are actual aliens or the sentient beings. I believe they are avatars for them, or in this case, remote controlled light that they send over here, which, come on, let's be honest, that's awesome. You can control light in a sense of, you can make it balls, you can change its shape, you can send it. Now it floats around, and there's like a slight hum to it, just like the slightest. They don't make a lot of noise, but they kind of poke around. They're like, oh, what's this? For the longest time, they were really, really fascinated with a corner. Just a corner. Matter of fact, come with me. It was this corner right here. Kind of dark. I do apologize, but they just sat there floating. I don't know why. Just fascinated. So They but then they went back and kind of floating around, and for all I know, they were like having a powwow because most of them kind of congregated like in this one section. That night there was three of them. Sometimes there's two. Occasionally there's one, but usually no more than three. One night I was so tired, I just let them do their thing, and I could have sworn I saw four, but I was so tired I really couldn't say. Hold on, let's check my timer. Okay, so anyway. And now, even though they're light, even though they emanate heat, they do have some physical properties because, in addition to feeling heat, it felt like I was passing by something solid. Like if you stand near something large, inherently you can kind of feel its presence. It was very similar, but it was just on a smaller scale because it's really the size of a little foam ball that you can get like at the Walmart. It's really small. Those little balls that you can take and like throw at children's faces. They have those. Anyway, so but they do have some physical properties. Now I don't know if it's because they themselves are physical, because again I haven't been able to confirm that, or maybe they have their own gravity, which in on itself that's kind of crazy. But I know this to be true because one night, this was probably 9 months in, when I was up and moving around and kind of pretty comfortable, they almost broke a mug. And I don't think they actually meant to, or that was their purpose. I really don't. But they came by and it was sitting on the counter. It was actually drying. I'd washed it earlier that night, and they passed by it and it moved, and it almost fell, and I was able to grab it. But the best part about this is, well, there's many parts. First, it demonstrated that they can have physical effect on the environment, right? That it kind of makes me think more that they do have some kind of gravitational pull. I don't know what the purpose for that would be, but again, I don't know what these things are in the first place. I have no idea where they're coming from. But the best part of that little scenario was the fact that they almost broke one of my favorite mugs, again by accident. Doctor Who. I just thought that was hilarious. I had a big hearty laugh, and they just kind of just buzzed around. And when I say buzz, but move around, and so just irony abound. But again, the reason for my little rant here, as I'm waiting for my food to cook, is depending on where the beings actually are. Again, assuming that these aren't actual sentient beings, assuming that they're just avatars, or like the equivalent of those little unmanned vehicles that we send down to like look at the Titanic deep in the ocean, right? Or to quote movies, if you've ever seen The Abyss, similar aliens, but their whole technology is based off of water, and they're interacting with humans who are way deep underwater in an underwater drilling rig, and but they used water and were able to control it on a molecular level. And used it as like their own UAV. That's the word. That's the acronym I'm thinking for. UAV. Well, I'm thinking these lights, the orbs, are in fact their versions of that. They're UAVs. And which makes sense. Like we do the same thing for Mars. We send rovers. You do not. You may know the composition of the planet, and in this case, there is sentient life. Complex organisms, but if they're being cautious. They're like, no, we're going to send these things, these cool little lights that we can control. I'm sure that humming that they make, I'm pretty sure that they're scanning or they're documenting it somehow. I honestly don't know why my kitchen is in the kitchen and dining room area, that corner specifically, is important in any way, shape, or form. But they really like it. Ooh, pardon me real quick. Thank you. All right. So anyway, that's literally time. I will expand on this further, specifically to like where they might be, the actual beings controlling these. I have a theory that they're within our solar system. They may not be on Earth, because again, if these things are made of light and they're equidistant from us, then let's say the sun, or they share the same distance from Earth like our sun, then it'd take them 8-10 minutes. Well, 8 minutes for light to reach us. But if they're moving at the speed of light, 8 minutes. They could send it out, wait a few, and then bam, there they are on the planet, and actually interacting. So So yeah, I just thought that was fascinating. Kind of want to expand on that. I should be suspecting. This is what happens when I'm hungry. I should be expecting more interactions soon. I admittedly I kind of lost track this time. I'm pretty good. I can usually get them arriving within a week, like the date. In this case, a lot just stuff going on, yeah. So next video will be on their next visit. It might be more of the same. Probably will be. That's not the point. Point is that they're here and they're visiting, and I really hope I'm not the only one, for obvious reasons. And I really hope that they're just expeditionary forces who are like, hey, we're going to check out this one guy, and so on, you know. So yeah. So I'll check back. Thank you for watching. I will hit you back for more. Enjoy your evening and be safe. A lot of stuff happening in the country right now, and a lot of violence, and we can't have that, especially when it's my belief that we're actually being visited by another species who can travel across the void of space. And if you have any basic idea of just science and physics, I say basic because I am not an expert in any way, shape, or form, you will know that that is crazy difficult. Not impossible, just crazy difficult, especially where we are right now as a species. So the fact that they're able to do this, and if I'm correct, are able to control balls of light that can just be sent out like UAVs, yeah, that's important. We should probably focus on that and maybe pull a Star Trek, and it'll hopefully unify the world. You know, fingers crossed. All right, anywho, thanks again for watching. I'll hit you back with more information. Reggie out.